Get ready for the dictation. Start. It will be clear on a cursory reading of the said definition that sale means transfer of property in goods by one person to another for cash or for deferred payment or for any other valuable consideration. It will be noticed that despite this court's judgment in Messrs Associated Hotels of India Limited, which is a judgment of the year 1972, Parliament has chosen to adopt the definition of sale, which does not include or split up sales of goods from services in composite contracts. Also, a reading of the various penal provisions that are contained in the Act, starting with Section 50, would show that there is no penalty for selling above MRP in hotels and oblique or restaurants. As has been stated in the trilogy of judgments in Messrs Associated Hotels of India Limited and the two Northern India Caterers Limited, it is clear that when sale of food and drinks takes place in hotels and restaurants, there is really one indivisible contract of service coupled incidentally with sale of food and drinks. Since it is not possible to divide the service element, which is the dominant element, from the sale element, it is clear that such composite contracts cannot be the subject matter of sales tax legislation as was held in those judgments. Bearing these judgments in mind, Parliament amended the Constitution and introduced the Constitution 46th Amendment Act, by which it introduced Article 366 29A. Subclause F, with which we are directly concerned, reads as follows: 366 29A F, a tax on the supply by way of or as part of any service or in any other manner whatsoever of goods, being food or any other article for human consumption, or any drink, whether or not intoxicating, whether such supply or service is for cash, deferred payment or other valuable consideration, and such transfer, delivery or supply of any goods shall be deemed to be a sale of those goods by the person making the transfer, delivery or supply, and a purchase of those goods by the person to whom such transfer, delivery or supply is made. A reading of the constitutional amendment would show that supply by way of or as part of any service of food or other article for human consumption is now deemed to be a sale of goods by the person making the transfer, delivery or supply. What is interesting to note is that despite the fact that the constitutional amendment was made way back in the year 1982, the 1976 Act was not amended so as to incorporate the definition of sale contained therein. What is of greater importance is to appreciate that when the 2009 Act has replaced the 1976 Act, again the definition of sale contained in the 2009 Act reads as follows: sale, with its grammatical variations and cognate expressions, means transfer of property in any weight, measure or other goods by one person to another for cash or for deferred payment or for any other valuable consideration, and includes a transfer of any weight, measure or other goods on the hire purchase system or any other system of payment by installments, but does not include a mortgage or hypothecation of or a change or pledge on such weight, measure or other goods. As is clear from the statement of objects and reasons for the 2009 Act, the object of the said Act was only to do away with the 1976 and 1985 Acts so as to combine the said provisions into one enactment so as to make the law simple, ensure accountability, and bring in transparency. The statement of objects and reasons for the 2009 Act reads as follows. Statement of objects and reasons. In India, uniform standards of weights and measures based on the metric system were established in the year 1956, which were revised in the year 1976 with a view to give effect to the international system of units. Apart from it, the Standards of Weights and Measures Act 1976 provides for establishing standards of weights and measures regulation of interstate trade or commerce in weights and measures and other goods which are sold by weight, measure or number. In the year 1985, the Standards or Weights and Measures Act 1985 was enacted for enforcement of standards of weights and measures established by or under the 1976 Act. The advancement of technology has necessitated the review of above-mentioned enactments to make them simple, eliminate obsolete regulations, ensure accountability, and bring transparency. Stop.